following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, this is Brother Mike. I'm back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Welcome to the Bible study, Satan's War. Today on Hardcore. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them radio program's on? This one's kind of nasty. I'll do some announcements while you make the call. Thank you. This is Brother Mike. I am the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road, downtown. Shout out to all my friends. This is our 18th year coming up in February. All my friends, all these years have been listening to KXXT Christian Radio. Love you guys. Thank you for all my new friends on the internet, darkskyradio.com. Love having you around. We had over 83,000 listeners last week on Dark Sky. Very grateful. When you go to the website, you'll see all of our ministry services there. Thursday night is our healing room, no appointment necessary. Brother Rick and the ministry team are killing this thing, one deliverance and healing after the other. The anointing in this service is really remarkable. You ought to come to it just to watch it. But please send somebody who needs to be delivered or healed. This is an opportunity you probably will not get the rest of your life. It's probably the most anointed service anywhere in the United States. If it isn't, it's one of them. Friday night's my teaching service, my radio listener, 7 p.m. Broadcast live on a YouTube streaming channel, youtube.com/House of Healing, AZ. 7 p.m. Friday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Sign up for our next free seminar. It is, to use a slang term, the bomb. It's on spirit husbands, marine spirits. You know why all your relationships have been destroyed? You know why they have so many divorces? You don't now, but you will then. Sign up for the free seminar. Please hit the PayPal button again and send us another donation. We had a record year of giving in 2019. Thank you very much. Send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com, if you need a receipt for your taxes for your donations of 2019. Don't forget about Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website, ready to list your house for sale. Thank you for all your referrals from last year. It's been fantastic. Satan's War. Wow. Proverbs chapter 24. Quote, "For by wise counsel you shall make your war, and in the multitude of counselors there is safety." Well, it didn't happen when George Bush was president. Man, he got us involved in this Iraq war, and it has been the disaster of the ages. It's the most incredible, staggering, gasping catastrophe of human insanity ever seen in the history of the United States, period. Nothing else is even close. It's worse than it's almost like the Civil War. It's almost that bad. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. "This wisdom have I seen under the sun, and it seemed great to me. There was a little city and a few men in it. There came a great king against it. He besieged it and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered the poor wise man. Then I said, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor wise man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. The words of the wise are heard in quiet, more than the cry of them that ruleth among fools." Perfect description of Black Lives Matter and Antifa and some of these other far-left groups that are trying to destroy the United States. Verse 18, "Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good." And that's what happened with this Iraq war. George Bush and Congress got us into something that is inconceivably insane. It's been ongoing since, of course, 9/11. The war has expanded from Afghanistan to Iraq to Syria to Pakistan. It's unbelievable. We're all over the Middle East, costing the taxpayers almost $7 trillion. That's $2 2 trillion more than all the federal government spending during the recently completed fiscal year. Can you imagine that? The Watson Institute of International and Public Affairs put out a study recently. Over 800,000 people have died in these wars. Over 33,000 of the dead have been civilians. 21 million people have been displaced from their homes or their country during this insane period of deranged violence. ISIS was a zero problem at the time of 9/11. Al-Qaeda was a Mickey Mouse outfit, although the strike in New York was top of the line, no question about that. It was incredible. But the U.S. military could easily defeat Al-Qaeda. There was no problem there. But this war in Iraq has now created ISIS and creates more fighters every single day. Every time we blow something up or kill someone or kill something or blow somewhere up or blow up some city, whatever it is, we create new terrorists every time we do it. The Pentagon in March of 2019 estimated that these wars have cost every single taxpayer in the United States almost $8,000 a head. Over 7,000 U.S. servicemen and over 7,800 contractors have been killed in this war. Now remember, these servicemen from the United States are the best citizens we have to offer anywhere in this world. These soldiers are the best people we have in the United States. Over 7,000 of them have died for nothing. The veterans coming back, which are, staggering numbers, way more than the ones killed, thankfully, come home with total disabilities. And they die in droves from drug overdoses, chronic PTSD, automobile accidents, or suicide. It's unbelievable. 20 veterans a day, approximately, are killing themselves in the United States. 20 a day. 20% of all soldiers that come back from this war in the Middle East have incurable PTSD. Unbelievable. Thousands of veterans are committing suicide annually. It's incredible. The suicide rate among female veterans is even higher than the men. Suicide among our soldiers coming back. And again, these are our best and our brightest human beings living in this country. These are the best we've got. Dying in droves for no reason. For no reason at all. What's happening here? What is the devil doing? Well, first of all, George Bush didn't start this war. Satan did. He only used Bush, and he used Congress, and he used all these political, pathological liars. He uses them. Satan manipulates countries. He manipulates governments. He owns countries. Godless nations in particular are owned lock, stock, and barrel by Satan. Russia, China, the countries of the Middle East, unbelievably controlled by the devil. And that includes America. What's happening here? What's Satan up to? What's he doing? He's outthinking us again. He always outthinks us. He's smarter than human beings by far. What's he doing there? He's preparing us for Armageddon. He's using the psychiatric concept of systematic desensitization. What he's doing is he's getting us used to war. This insane war that Bush got us into in Congress, this thing's gone on for what, 17 years or something like that? Some 18 years, something like 19 years, something like that. It's beyond belief. It's unreal. Well, what happens is in psychology, and I was a secular counselor for 25 years. I've been a professional counselor for 38 years. Systematic desensitization is the psychiatric process where you repetitively and continuously expose someone to a certain stimuli. You expose them to a certain stimuli, and as you do, that stimuli becomes normal to that person. Every person raised in a dysfunctional family knows exactly what I'm talking about. Your family acts like they're full of demons, and their behavior becomes normal to you. Yelling, screaming, fighting, beatings, molestations. Dysfunctional families have certain behaviors, and if you see it repetitively and you're repetitively exposed to it, it becomes normal to you. Well, what Satan's doing here, he's getting ready to mobilize the armies for Armageddon. America's not mentioned in prophecy or in the Bible, but as the greatest country in the history of the world, you can be sure that we'll either be involved in Armageddon and get slaughtered, or something will happen before that time where America becomes a non-issue. My personal view is the latter. We're headed for an economic collapse that we have never seen before, worse than the Great Depression. And it's coming, and it's related to the incredible budget deficit. This entire war, $7 trillion worth, we put on our credit card. Friends, you need to listen to me now. Armageddon is coming, and it's getting close, very close. And America is becoming desensitized to death, killing, and war, and spending untold amounts of money for each. You've got to turn your life over to the Lord in 2020 and make major changes in your Christian life, because time is running out. The rapture and the tribulation are only a few years away. Our time is running out and the clock is ticking. The insanity of America will blend into the deranged insanity of the rest of the world, and the valley of Megiddo is almost upon us.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.